Fourth time's the charm. Out of all the superhero franchises, the Fantastic Four has been the most difficult to adapt. Really, it's kind of baffling why. But now we have the fourth iteration of the superhero team. The Fantastic Four has finally come home to the MCU. So, does this Fantastic Four succeed where all the others failed? This version is set on an alternate Earth, Earth 828, where New York City in the 60s is a retro futuristic utopia. Four astronauts went up into space and came back with cosmic powers. Now they're a beloved celebrity superhero family. You have Reed Richards, the smartest man in the world, who can stretch his body to an unimaginable lengths. You have Sue Storm, his wife, who can become invisible and create force fields. You have Johnny Storm, her brother, who can turn into the Human Torch. And you have Ben Grimm as the lovable The Thing, a giant rock monster with a heart of gold. Reed and Sue are having a baby. And besides the parental anxieties, a new threat comes to Earth in the form of the Silver Surfer. She warns that Galactus, the god she serves, is coming to devour the entire planet. Naturally, it's up to this team to use science and gumption to find a solution to defeat this cosmic being. Before I get into what works, what doesn't, right off the bat, this is one of the best looking MCU movies ever. The production design is off the charts. It's ripped straight from the comics of the 60s, with almost like a Jetsons World of Tomorrow future. A lot of people like me rag on the MCU for their movies always being shot in like boring warehouses, but not this one. As does the cinematography, which is trying to mesh old 60s newsreels with a texture and color palette that is very reminiscent of 60s films. The opening montage is pure comic book joy that bounces us across pretty much the splash pages of the comic, but that's not actually how the movie starts. The movie starts with your Marvel logo retroized, and boom, we're just automatically into Sue and Reed. There's no buildup, there's no atmosphere, there's no attempt to slowly ease us into this world. And it's kind of indicative of this movie's larger problem. It doesn't excite us into the movie and give us enough time to get to know these characters before they're going off into the plot. Let's get this out of the way. Bar none, this is the best live action adaptation of the Fantastic Four. If the 2000s versions were too childish and goofy, and the 2015 reboot was too dull and dour, this tries to find a happy medium. But it's telling that there's still a tonal imbalance, and the movie is quite sheepish with letting its characters match its style. And it starts with the cast. This cast, on paper, is perfect. Pedro Pascal as the leader should eat up this role. But his version of the character is less hampered by his nerdiness and more by his anxieties. So he's quite sullen. We really don't know what animates him. Does he get excited with coming up with new contraptions and finding new equations and solving problems? It makes us wonder how he ever bagged a total hottie like Vanessa Kirby's Sue Storm, who, spoiler alert, is the best actor and character in this movie. Her main motivation may be motherhood, but she imbues it with so much strength and dignity and grace. And she is the true heart of this movie and the best Sue Storm we've ever gotten. Now, Eben Moss-Bachrach from The Bear as the Thing should be pitch perfect casting, but there's something a little off with this Thing. The visual effects, no, they look terrific. The mocap, he looks ripped right out of the comic. But it's not Bacharach's performance. It must be the direction he's given. He's just kind of sedate. He's really just there to lift big stuff and punch big things. It's very disappointing, especially since we know Bacharach can knock any role out of the park. But the biggest casting mishap has to be Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm. Now let's go all the way back. We know the MCU, Chris Evans as Captain America, but before then, he was Johnny Storm. And you know what? He was the best thing about those movies. We know Johnny Storm. He's a womanizer. He's a cad. He's a smartass. He has something to prove. But here with Joseph Quinn's version, he's all tell and don't show. He says he likes the ladies, and he has moments where he's wisecracking, but Quinn's comic timing is punctuated by awkward pauses and real lack of energy. I mean, this Johnny Storm has the humor and charisma of a shoe. And this mismatch of performances kills the chemistry between the cast, which is ultimately the most important thing you want. The humor isn't there, the pep isn't there, the zip isn't there. These characters and the common timing and the energy should be bam, 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 at least before the end of the world stuff happens. But it's just not, and it makes this movie not nearly as fun as it could be. The production design and especially the score is telling us this is an adventure. And speaking of the score, Michael Giacchino knocks it out of the park. I mean, this guy is just your go to superhero composer at this point. Spider Man, The Batman, and now the Fantastic Four. I was humming his theme right out of the theater, and I really wish the cast had kept up with the energy that he brings. Now, it's not all Doctor Doom and Gloom. When this movie brings in Silver Surfer and Galactus and the main plot, there's actually some excellent, don't say fantastic, action, especially an action scene where the Silver Surfer is chasing the team and their spaceship across a black hole and then through a wormhole. Dare I say it, this might be the best MCU action scene since Endgame? It all comes down to Galactus wanting Reed and Sue's new baby so he can carry on his cosmic curse of having to eat planets. It's a pretty good thrust of the plot that brings in the personal with literally galactic sized stakes. And ultimately, this movie is about nuclear family and how saving one child is the same as saving the entire world. But by the end, when everyone's doing their part and they have to defeat Galactus, it's not quite as exciting as it should be. And actually, it's pretty much a remake of the Rise of the Silver Surfer Fantastic Four movie. Funny enough, we all know the Fantastic Four are popping up in the next Avengers movie, but I truly wish we were getting a direct sequel to this one. But hey, that's the MCU at this point. You get some glimmers of good stuff, but it's on to the next one. The Fantastic Four First Steps is the best live action Fantastic Four movie, no doubt. But it's still hampered by awkward casting and cast chemistry that holds this movie back from being the truly fun and zippy space adventure it should have been. Ultimately, I give First Steps a serviceable 3 out of 5 stars. If you like this review, please like and subscribe or follow me on Letterboxd at RamirezS316. I don't know, I kind of like this gray and the mustache. What do you think? Flash Fantastic Four rankings. Okay, number 5, the Roger Corman one. I haven't seen it, but I know it was made for like $10. Number 4, the 2015 Josh Trank Fantastic Four. What the hell was this? There's no second act. The VFX are terrible. Cast has zero chemistry. It is just a dud. Number 3, the 2005 Fantastic Four with Jessica Alba, Johan Gruffa, Chris Evans, and Michael Chiklis. You know, it's cheap and chintzy, but I guess it was the best we had at the time. Number 2, the sequel, Rise of the Silver Surfer. This is the most 2007 movie ever made, but you know what? The cast works better this time. A lot of the VFX are cool. It's zippy and it's short. And number 1, Fantastic Four First Steps. It's not perfect, but hey, we'll take it. Psych! Number 1 is actually The Incredibles from 2004. That is still the absolute best Fantastic Four adaptation we've ever gotten. Why is this so hard?